So I took a look at all the guys that was trying to holler at me and the one I thought had that bread. See, sometimes when you such a hustle, you will hustle so hard that you get hustled. Anything you want to do in life, all you got to do is start and press play. Hey y'all, so I'm back with another episode of Every Play Possible. I want to first and foremost thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. What I want you to do for me is give me real life topics that you would like to talk about so I can share my experience with you, or if I know somebody that's have had the experience, they can share their experience with you. So I don't want to bore you. I want to keep you motivated, keep you inspired, and I want to always be able to talk real talk with you. So I need you guys to talk back to me. I need feedback. So you know how we do it. I'm going to always bring you a little real estate, real cute, and real talk. So that real estate plug, I'm Latanya Epps. I can be reached at 843-230-5023. And I'm your homegirl. I sell real estate. Let me help you for hair or homes. Okay, I'm feeling real cute. I'm going to always say I feel real cute because I feel real cute even when I don't always feel real cute. But anyway, so real talk. Let's talk about some of the episodes that I already brought before you. So the last episode, we were talking about my turn. And that's what brought me to start talking on a podcast, because it became my turn. And I felt like I could inspire by sharing my stories with somebody. So my turn, I hope you got a chance to tune into it. If you didn't, please go back and watch my turn, because that message, something is going to resonate with you. Moving right along. So today I want to come to you from a place hoping that I can motivate you. Let's talk about things that get you motivated. And I made a couple notes because you know I can be all over the place and I don't want to be. So if you watch my podcast with the Responsible Homegirl, I did a whole episode with her talking about teenage pregnancy. So let's go back there to teenage pregnancy. When I was a junior in high school, that summer, I found out that I was pregnant. So I was one of those girls that I had my group of friends. I wanted to follow and not lead at that particular time because my leadership skills hadn't set in. I was more of a follower. So that's just what I did. So I would sit in the groups with my homegirls and they would all share their stories about having sex. And I didn't have any to share. And lo and behold, I wanted some stories to share because, that's just what it was. I was a part of the donut crew. I was a part of the cuties. And my God, I don't even want to tell you what that stands for. I'm almost embarrassed when my 9-year-old said, "Mom, what does that stand for?" Because they had their own meaning. But fast forward, I didn't have short stories to share. So of course, I was curious about what sex was. What my mama used to tell me was, you go out there and you fuck and you get pregnant, your ass, da-da-da-da-da-da. My mama was real ratchet with it. She gave you the real deal, but nobody sat me down and explained the birds and the bees no more than what I got from health. So needless to say, and I'm going to tell it like it is because this is real talk. Needless to say, I got caught up in the whole teenage pregnancy, for one, because I was a follower. I wanted a story to tell. However, I didn't know that same story that I was going to wind up telling one day was going to be the story that caused me so much shame. So back then, I got in the number with the teenage pregnancy, junior in high school. So that summer I was pregnant, went on to my senior year. I would have been 17, had the baby in October. School started in August. So I was already in my senior year. And I remember the principal saying that I wasn't going to be able to walk. I wasn't going to be able to graduate, something about me missing too many days from school. However, I had a doctor's excuse because I was on bed rest. threatening preterm labor, XYZ. Anyway, thank God for my mom, because I had a praying mama and I had a fighting mom that would stand up for what she believed was right. So I made it to graduation. I was able to walk across that stage even though I had a baby. And yes, I faced a whole lot of things. I could go on and on about me having a baby at a young age. Needless to say, today that child is 31 years old, carrying my second grandbaby, and I am so proud of that. I remember telling my kids that I didn't want them to be like me. I did not want them to fall in the trap of having a baby in high school. So yes, I was very hard on my kids because I did not want them to be like me. And I said, if you get caught up in teenage pregnancy and you have a baby young versus having a baby older, it's going to determine if your little girl get diamonds or get cubic zirconia. I know they thought I was cool, but I was saying if you had that baby too early, she just going to get these $3 earrings versus if you wait till the time is right and I can afford to do what I need to do as a grandmama, she might get some $300 or some $3,000 diamond earrings, because it's a difference between cubic zirconia and diamond. Anyway, needless to say, I had 3 girls and none of them experienced teenage pregnancy. Thank God for that. However, not only did I have 3 girls, now I have 4 girls. But I'm going to talk about my 4 girls with my 4 baby daddies. But I'm going to talk about when it was 3 girls with 3 different baby daddies. So not only did I fall into the shame of being pregnant as a teen, I wanted 10 kids coming up. My mama only had 3 girls, and I wanted a big family. I used to say, I'm going to have a big family so when my kids leave, they can all come home and I can do X, Y, Z. Well, when I got started with having those kids, one thing, it did not take me long to realize that I wasn't going to take nobody's shit. I was not one of those one that was going to sit down and say, I got to have all these kids for the same person, because stuff came with all those people. So once I made up my mind that I wasn't going to be with you no more, and I saw what it was you were about, I know you wasn't for me. So it didn't matter that the first baby and the second baby didn't have the same daddy, the third baby or the fourth baby, that didn't matter. But to people, it mattered, because I would hear stuff. Nobody never told me anything about me with my 3 kids or my 4 kids and my different baby daddies. Nobody never told me that, but I've heard it. How did I hear it? Let's talk about the messenger. You got those friends, you got those people that claim they love you, claim they're for you, but they'll come back and tell you what the people are saying. Beware of those people. Yeah, beware of those people. I was in church one time, and I'm going to jump a little bit. I was in church one time, and I remember the pastor saying about how sometimes the devil will try to attack, and they let the arrow go, and God will come and knock the arrow over so it don't hit you, and then your friend, your loved one, will pick the bone arrow right up and bring it to you and stab you without knowing they stabbing you. My God, my God, my God. It happens a lot to me in life, because nobody was ever bold enough to talk trash to me about me having 4 kids for 4 different baby daddies. But I've heard it so many times because somebody in the streets brought it back to me. Somebody in my salon that was my client or my friend. And I ain't even gonna lie, at some point in time, I can remember my husband brought it back to me. Yeah, that girl was like, what I want with you when you got 3 kids for 3 different baby daddies. And what I told him was, yeah, tell her you ain't got no babies and I have 4. Because my kids is my kids. The same thing that the devil or the world thought that was going to destroy me is my biggest pride. It's what I'm most proud of right now today. So I'm a hairstylist. I'm a trichologist. I'm a real estate agent. I'm an educator. I'm a mom. I'm a sister. I'm so many things to so many people. But my biggest accomplishment is the fact that I do have those 4 girls. Is the fact that God blessed me with 4 healthy girls. I call them my team. That's my team that God gave me. So God fixed that thing where it was supposed to shame me. And at times in my life, it did shame me. It did make me feel away. But when it all came down, it was like, I'm building your foundation. I'm building the foundation that you're going to need for your journey. And I thank God for it. So I want to tell you, if it's something out there that's shaming you, something out there that you're not proud of, use that to fuel your fire. Let that be the kerosene. Let that be the gas, and throw it on the fire and move. Move in this season. What is meant to destroy you is really meant to build you. It's really meant to build you up. And I know you've probably heard this message 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways, coming from 1,000 people. But I know somebody out there right now got a shitload of children, whether that be 3, whether that be 10. If you got more than one, they're going to act like you got. I remember a lady at the gas station told somebody, said, who did your hair? You know, Tan with all the kids. I said, well, damn, I ain't got but 3 children. That's a lot to them. That's a lot to somebody that doesn't have any. It's somebody right now sitting on the couch who want to be pregnant and can't. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Now, I got the lesson out of the blessing with them 4 kids for 4 different baby daddies. Trust me, it was a lesson in my blessing, and I didn't get it when I was going through it, but I got it later. So I say to you, as you hear what I'm telling you, because I'm not telling you to go out there by no means and sleep with nobody and get you 4 kids for 4. That's not what I'm telling you. Don't miss the message because how I'm delivering it. What I'm telling you is, in my mess, a message was created. In my mess. I wasn't married. Even when I had my last baby, I gave that baby to a man that later became my husband. But that ain't the way they say we supposed to do it now. But I had a baby for my husband, and he wasn't my husband at the time. But I'm selfish. Because at the end of the day, it ain't about none of them. It's about me. I wanted 10 kids, and I almost had 10 kids. I had 6 pregnancies. I had 1 abortion because I was not ready for that baby, and I had a miscarriage. And I got 4 kids. So I almost made it to my 10 now. Don't get that twisted. I almost made it to my 10, but I didn't. I didn't. And I'm satisfied with what God gave me, because on top of that, he's letting me live, allowing me to live to see my grandkids. And I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful for it. So I say all that to say, if you're sitting out there and you feel like you can't make a way out of no way, if you work while you wait and you have that faith the size of a mustard seed, God gonna bring you out of it. You gotta do some work. Just like you work when you was in that bed, you know how you put that work in. You gotta put some work out here in these streets. You got to stop being lazy. You got to make it do what it do. You got to find something to fuel your fire. Find something to fuel your fire. I told you guys a long time ago, in the 2nd or the 3rd episode, when adversity hit, that fueled my fire to the gym. And as I was trying to build muscles, I also built that relationship with God at that point in time. But I was fueled to get up out of that bed because the bed was cold. The bed was cold as ice, and I could not stand being there more than a few hours. I just needed enough rest to refuel me for the next day. So every day I got up and went on that journey, it was because I was miserable in my own home. So that was motivation for me. And through that motivation, I created a habit. And out of that habit, now it's a routine. So it's a lifestyle. So the more you do it, the more you'll want to do it. So I say to you again, find something that's going to motivate you. So that 3 kids with 3 different baby daddies, and now 4, because you see how I keep that cycle going. Thank God I got my tube side. But anyway, it didn't break me. It didn't break me. As a matter of fact, it's a part of my testimony. It's the foundation. And it made me because it gave me a story. So I say this to you, things stick with people. I can remember one morning I woke up to a text message from my spouse, and it said something like, I hate you, motherfucker, just as much as you hate me. And I looked at the text message and I replied, because I'm an Aries and I'm a fire sign. I replied, motherfucker, I don't hate you. Because I don't hate people. You cannot get to heaven with hatred in your heart. I don't hate nobody. I may not like your ways, but let's clear this up. I don't hate you. So anyway, throughout the conversation after the text message was dead, they said why they said what they said, and they went to give me an apology, and I said, I don't need an apology. Whatever caused us to be arguing in the first place, it has something to do with my daughter. So I said, apologize to our child. And you don't owe me no apology, because I'm going to use your words as motivation. You don't have to apologize to me, because I'm not even going to accept it, because I don't need it. Because of what I heard, I'm going to use it as motivation. Now, what's so crazy is, why didn't I use it? Why didn't I use it to push me out of this relationship? Why didn't I use it to push me out of this marriage? Why? Why do we stay stuck in situations we know are no longer for us? Let me back that up. Probably because we don't know that they're no longer for us. We're unsure. But I know being in a bad place, and when I say bad place, like a place of desperation. What's desperation? Let me tell you how I really got involved in this relationship. And I got a friend. We're not friends like that anymore, but we used to be friends. And she can tell you, 2 people know this story to be true. I had a house fire. And again, people always talking. Of course, they say I set the house fire. Why? Who knows? But I had a house fire, and I pretty much lost everything, and I had to start over again. That was redirection again in my life. And right then and there, I went and I stayed with my mom, and I was considering moving to Charlotte, but I did not have a love life. I did not have a significant other. I didn't have anyone to share nothing with. So I took a look at all the guys that was trying to holler at me, and the one I thought had that bread. See, sometimes when you such a hustle, you will hustle so hard that you get hustled. Because I thought he had that bread. So we had a mutual friend in common. So I sent the message. Tell the nigga that was trying to holler at me to come by and bring me 2 lottery tickets. See, I was playing games. I was really playing games. Not knowing that the game was going to turn on me. Because the same game I was playing about bringing me 2 lottery tickets, mind you, he brought the 2 lottery tickets, stretched them off, and did not win nothing. But I really felt deep down in my heart that he was the lottery ticket. That's how I felt. Like I fell in love with somebody that I would have never looked at. I would have never took 2 looks at. The person had already tried to holler at me prior, and I just did not. That wasn't it. Let me tell you something about being in places out of desperation. Like, because I had that adversity with the house fire, and now I felt like I had no other way to turn. It was time to get my grind on, but I also wanted help. So I know that this had been somebody that had been trying to pursue me, it was nothing about them that I liked. But just out of genuinely having a friendship with them, I learned that I liked their conversation. I learned that I like how they catered to my needs. I learned that I like how we grind together. But how many of you know sometimes people will do certain things just to get what it is they want? But that was the game I was playing too, because I was trying to get what I only invited him over because I was at rock bottom. Now I had this house fire, and I'm thinking the nigga got money, so I'm finna play this game. But I fell in love with the man. The man thought that I could be bought because of what the streets said, and in spite of what they said, he fell in love with me too. But at the end of the day, how can we keep these charades up when we started off on the wrong foot? We both had hidden agendas to start with, but we got caught up in our feelings. So what was really real? How do you know? How do you know? That's how you get caught up in, should I stay or should I go? Because when you take it all back to the beginning of time, it wasn't built on a strong foundation to start with. It wasn't built on a strong foundation to start with. But fast forward, it was what it was. Being desperate got me there, but love took me someplace else. Love took me someplace else. So I say all that to say, if you're not doing what you need to do when it comes to finances, when it comes to confidence, how you feel about yourself, you have to be mindful that you don't get stuck in a situation because you don't feel strong enough to walk out of it. What makes us feel strong? Having money, not having faith, because faith is the last thing sometimes we have. We really don't have that faith until we get in a desperate place. So we know having money, looking away, feeling like we on top of the world. Positive things are things that cause us to move. Negative things, negative ways that we feel about ourselves are things that cause us to be stuck, to be stagnant, to sit right there and take somebody's mess. Feeling like we can't do no better. I can remember talking to people and they would say things like, you better stay in that marriage because, once you get a certain age, ain't nobody going to look at you the same way. And you already got kids. People don't want a made up. You don't know what people want. It's how you position yourself. I'm 48 years old. I got 4 kids for 4 different baby daddies. I ain't been to nobody college. I took trade schools. I'm smart enough. I know who I am. And I feel like I can get anybody I want. I can sit in any room with a lawyer, doctor, and I'm going to be myself, the president. I ain't got to act no certain way. If my English or language is broken, it's okay. I love my personality. I love who I am. I show up the way I am. I am not ashamed to tell people that I got 4 kids. I'm not ashamed to say I'm single. You start thinking whatever you want to think in your mind, because until you get to know me for yourself, you're not going to know the true core, the true value of who I am as a person. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, things that people say to us sticks in our head, and it causes us to feel like sometimes we can't do no better. So I'm going to tell you, be mindful what you hear, because you can't unhear it. You'll hear it later on. Even if you got the fuel to be motivated to do what you need to do, you're still not going to hear those things. And when bad days come, sometimes it'll take you back to that place to make you say, should I? You should. Can I? You can. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you asking somebody, if it was you, would you? You're not them. Find something that's going to fuel your fire. Find something that's going to fuel your fire. Right now, I got a why for my next play. My why is I don't want to be where I am at 50. Where am I? None of your business. I ain't finna tell you. I don't want to be in the same place I am when 50 rolls around. How much time does that leave me? We ain't got to add it up. I got to make those long-term goals. I got to make those short-term goals so I can move accordingly. I know what it is I'm aiming for. This ain't about me. It's to help me help you how to move forward. Because that's what you got to do. You got to move forward. Whatever it is that makes you feel like I ain't good enough, turn it around, because you are. You are good enough. Don't let no children make you think you should do more than you're doing. Don't let no man, don't even let your mama. I always say choose you. But you got to find ways to put fuel up under your fire. Fuel up under your fire. Let me tell you something. When I say I am the example that I want to see, I am that. I am that for people in the community. I am that for my children. I am that for my sisters. I was just telling my kids during the holidays, like they were arguing about something. And I said, you don't see me and my sisters acting like that. We don't always get along. But you're not gonna see us calling each other out our name, out of our name. You're not gonna see us getting out of character, belittling each other. You're not gonna see us hitting below the belt. That's not what we do. I don't know why my sister is doing what she's doing. I don't know why my sister feels the way that she feels. I don't know why, but I'm not gonna say something stupid to her because I know the insider on her to make her go jump off a doggone bridge. I'm not gonna do that. And I advise you to do the same thing. Instead of tearing somebody down, build them up. But build yourself up, because if you build yourself up, you'll know it ain't even worth tearing somebody down. Are you a builder or are you a bulldozer? Which one are you? Life will tear you down. So keep building. So when life come in and start jawing and gnawing at you, you can keep going. You can keep going. Let me see. Truth hurts. 4 kids for 4 different baby daddies. I don't care now if somebody say it. But when it was 3 kids for 3 different baby daddies and I heard it, I can't lie. It stabbed me a couple times. But it was the truth. Didn't nobody lie. But I'll say it loud and proud. I know girls that got 4, 5 kids for the same nigga. They ain't further ahead of the game because they got kids for the same man. That ain't gonna make them marry you. That ain't gonna make them be faithful. That ain't gonna make them take care of them kids. That ain't gonna make them do nothing he ain't want to do. They just kids. They just kids. And I wanted them. So I always tell women, young or old, when you decide that you're gonna have kids, do it for you. I remember my mama said, ain't nobody life gonna change as much as yours gonna change. Ain't nobody body gonna change as much as yours gonna change. Ain't nobody mindset gonna change as much as yours gonna change. So do it for you, whether they want them or not. I know y'all hear me say all the time, oh, my mama said, oh, my grandma said. Let me tell you something. I had a phenomenal mom. I got a phenomenal mom. And I always say, I may not have had a 2-parent home. I may not have had what some people had. But one thing I did, I had a mom that was real. I had a mom that did not sugarcoat, my mom gave it to me like it was. My mama showed me the way. And you can always hear me referring back to my mama. Because if my mama said that shit, it was the motherfucking truth. Oh, my mama said that. My mama said, that's so crazy. My mama said that. It was like, oh, this the God. This the gospel. It's like how people be like, and the Bible said, oh, my mama said. Yeah, because that's what my mama said. So we got to listen at somebody. Whether you listen at your mama, whether you listen at somebody else's mama. It's some people out there, you can't tell nothing. I don't care. Can't tell nothing. Sometimes I got one of them. But I know she hear me. All my kids hear me. Because you think they won't pick up the phone and say, Mom, what that thing is you say about so-and-so? Yeah, you listening. You listening. Just like I was listening. And I didn't agree with everything my mama said. Did not agree with everything my mama said. But if you live a little longer, like my mama said, you'll see it again. Just live a little longer. I can remember when my mama was 48. I thought that was so old. And now I'm 48. Live to see it. I know people here today didn't make it to be 48. Did not make it. Did not make it. And again, I heard all the time about me being old because I choose to be with a younger man thinking he was going to bring the pain. He brought it all right. He brought it all right. But those old terms stuck with me. But it's all good. Because I feel good and I look good. And I know at the end of the day, God got me covered. It don't matter. I hope I live to be 109. Shit. So I wanted to talk about being desperate, stuff that sticks, and sometimes what was made to break you can be what will help build you. So I just hope that this talk that I came before you today and gave you, I hope it makes you think about what has happened in your life that can fuel your fire. Anything. Everybody got a story. Everybody got a story. Whether you choose to tell it or not, it's your story. Everybody got one. But use something to fuel your fire. Get motivated, get encouraged, and get going. Whatever you do, I pray that you execute your next play in excellence. That's my prayer for you. It's your homegirl, Tana's my realtor, and I'm out of here.